What's going on, guys? Here we are back again with the BUL Armory. If you haven't seen the video on this thing, you should check it out. It's probably been the hottest video to date. It was a review on this thing. Also, the gun range caught on fire while I was shooting this thing. If you don't believe me, go check it out. But anyways, this thing is being closely followed by the recent Sig Rattler video that I just did a couple days ago. So if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. I'll try to put both of them up here in these corners. But let's get right to it. I'm just going to do a quick cleaning video on this thing. When you buy this thing, you should get a bag that looks similar to this. It's got all the cleaning, all the tool stuff in here. This little tool right here is going to be super important. And we'll also get out these little cleaning rods here just to show you these. And we'll put the rest of this stuff to the side. I want to make this a real short and sweet video for you guys, so keep this thing to the side. First things first, you're going to need something to push on this little pin over here, and that's what's gonna allow you to take your slide down. So I'm gonna show you real quick on how to get the slide off of here. It's not in a traditional sense like all other pistols where you have takedown levers and stuff like that. So what you want to do is you want to get the notch of this thing here lined up with this first little half circle you see here. See that? So the way I do it is I'll bring it back. Once I line it up right there where it needs to be, I'm going to grab the slide and just hold it in place. And then I'm going to turn it over. Any little thing. I like to use anything that's plastic, something that won't scratch the metal. You're going to go ahead and push that thing on through. See how it's coming out of the other side here? See there? So you're going to pull that out. Once you have this little thing out, let the slide slowly go forward, and it's going to come right off the top. Okay, let's get I'm gonna start getting a couple paper towels down just to kind of keep things from rolling and getting scratched. So you got this here, you got this here. So as you've seen in other videos, I like to use the Hops number 9 cleaning solution that I keep in this little spray bottle here. So I'm gonna just douse this off, clean the bottom. The bottom here doesn't need a lot of maintenance and care as much as the top does. I'm just gonna wipe all this down and just get the grit, the grime, all the standard. Get your hand in there, get it all rubbed down. This one doesn't take much of a beating, so much as the top section, because if you haven't seen this thing, see all the ports it has on there? Really, that's where I want to get to. So this is where you're going to need this special tool here. As soon as I can get this bag open. Okay, so you're going to take this little tool. It looks like an Allen key, but it's really not. It's just made specifically for this guide rod assembly. So you're going to take this guide rod assembly. You're going to push all the way up until you see that little hole pop up right there. See if I can get it for you. See that little hole right there? And then you're going to take this thing and just sit it in there as so. And you're just going to let it go back down slowly. Once you do that, you can push the whole guide rod assembly. So they make it small enough to where this thing can stay in there and it comes out with it. See there? So you're going to pull this whole thing out now. And it just pops right out of there. Leave it in there just like that. It's not a big deal. I mean, you could let it out if you want more problems. But you see this thing? It's not very dirty. You could just take this, a couple little sprays, wipe this thing down. You don't even got to take that thing out of there. But guide rod rarely ever gets much grit and grime to it. But while you're there, cleaning it up won't hurt. But that's that. And now you got the barrel here, and this is the one that's really getting all the dirt on it. So what you want to do is knock this little pin forward here, and I'll show you why. Because if you leave it up, if you leave this thing up, the barrel won't come out. It'll get stuck. So if you just roll this thing forward, and that's actually where this thing is coming through here and it's holding it over here. So this whole hole lines up with this, and that's why it's there. So you want to just lay it down, and then you can pull it completely forward. So now you have all this here ready to go, and you can just, let me get a couple more paper towels. A little more of the cleaning solution. I mean, you can do it right on there. I'm trying not to get too messy this time around. But you can get it in there real good. These ported pistols, look at that. When it's ported, it's got all these gases shooting out all over the place. Makes for a real cool fireball, but doesn't make it cool for a fun cleaning process. So, actually, to get up in there a little better, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to get a couple, get a Q-tip. I like to use Q-tips a lot when I'm cleaning, just so I can get in those tougher areas. So what I'm going to do is a little spray down in there and just kind of clean that all off. It's a little hard to get in there with the paper towels. Not so much that it's hard to get in there, but it rips your paper towel apart. Now this thing here is really where you want to see those ports. This is where you really want to get in there and clean this thing. So this one I'm actually going to douse. And I'm going to spray some down in there. See the ramp? Even that is dirty. The feed ramp. This thing is disgusting. But that's what you get when you buy a fun toy like this with holes everywhere. That one I'm going to actually let it sit for a minute. I'm going to let that sit for 2 minutes and come right back. Okay, so it's been sitting for a few minutes now. I'm going to take my good old cleaning brush. Let me get you guys in a little closer here. Good old cleaning brush. And we're just going to go at it, scrubbing this thing. You see that stuff starting to come off there? This thing's probably going to take a couple rounds. Stuff's skunked on there pretty good, but it's coming off. Get like a mirror-like finish on there. All right. Got off that top layer. Looking a little better there. Here. So let's douse this thing down some more. Let me get this out of the way. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. And while that's sitting, I'm gonna go refill this thing. It's starting to run real low. Be right back in 1 minute. Okay, we're back. Let that thing sit for a good little while. We can scrub it some more. I'm actually probably going to take a little wire brush to it. Let's see. This stuff is gunked on there really good. Let's see. Yeah, it's on there really good. Well, while we're at it, let's get that wiped down. That came off really easy. Yeah, that came off much easier. Get this whole thing wiped down. Stuff is on there really good. Okay, and now we can get out this little wire brush. And we can get some of this off. I know this is for the barrel, but it works real good. Look at this. Yeah, it's getting all this stuff off. And we can work this thing in and out of the barrel. There we go. It's the only time it's safe to look down the barrel of a gun through a camera. There we go. So that's looking pretty good in there. Now we can let's spray this thing down a little bit more. Use this wire brush. See there? That stuff is real rough. But it's coming off. Just a little elbow grease. So I'm going to work on this and speed the video up so I don't have to bore you guys to death talking about it. And there we go. Run it through a couple more times. There you go. Looking clean. Oh, get this part here. This part's pretty dirty here. Just leave it nice and clean. The feed ramp. I'm trying to keep the video short and sweet for you guys, or else I'd bust out the metal polish and really start hitting this thing with a little Dremel. Get this thing to a mirror-like finish. But there you go. Look how good that looks. Much better than it did before. But I really want to get these tiny little spots off of here. Couple tiny spots there. Just my OCD. But other than that, there we go. I think we're good. All right. Let's put this thing back together. So we're just going to go in reverse now, and then I'll wipe this thing down. So I'm going to put this thing back in. Remember, keep that locking pin forward. I'm going to slide all the way back until it locks into place. Push this back. You're going to put your guide rod back in the same way you pulled it out. You'll see these rounded parts. They're going to go down towards your barrel. Oh, this way, sorry. Whew. Brain fart. But now you're going to push it back up. It's going to spring, it's got a little spring tension to it, so you're going to push that spring tension back up until you can pull this pin back out. And now you're going to let it back slowly. And it should rest right back into place. And this is what it looked like when it was back in there. And that part's going to go right where the locking block is. So you're going to slide this thing back on. You're going to push it right back to where that hole, this part is going to line up with this thing again. And you're going to hold it in place right there. See how that hole lines up in there? You're going to take this, push it back into there. And you got to do it with a little bit of force. It's got a, I don't know if you can tell there. Yeah, see the slight detent there? There you go. Little function check. And there you go. She looks clean. These are machining marks. Not a whole lot we could do about that. It's from the factory. So there you go. Now we'll get her wiped down. Get all this excess oil off of here. We'll get a fresh paper towel. Clean this up. layer there. Fresh paper towel. Wipe her down. Now what you could do is a little optional thing. Is literally take, the itty bittiest drop here. Bam. Now you're going to squeeze it and let it run off the tip of the little bottle there. And just kind of to where you can almost not even see it, but it's just a small layer of oil there. And there you go. That's it. Let me get this excess off. Call it a day. She's clean. Once you start shooting it, it'll gunk up again. It'll get rid of any excess oil on there. But other than that, that is it, guys. I love you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.